if your dinner isn't satisfying, you're almost guaranteed to snack later. And so for medication users, you may not feel hungry. So skipping or eating light happens quite often, but then the cravings come later. And so it makes sense that you're hungry later. So this is day 4 of our nighttime eating reset challenge. And so today we are going to talk about that dinner meal. So, like I said, for medical users, medication users, you're probably not feeling hungry, you're skipping or eating light, and then that craving comes later. For non-medication users, you may intentionally eat less at dinner to save calories and then end up overeating at nighttime. So, the fix, balance. Protein, fiber, healthy fats. Yes, let's balance those. And carbs. Carbs actually help you sleep better. If you are waking up in the night, or for me, it was waking up about like 3 a.m. at wide awake, it was because I had run out of my reserve. And so I needed more carbs. So I started having a little something in my dinner, and that really helped. So for example, if you eat a salad and it has no protein or fat, you'll be raiding the pantry later. Absolutely. But if you eat grilled chicken or roasted vegetables and a small little bit of potatoes, you'll feel so much more satisfied for longer. So I used to eat a salad. It was a boring, boring salad because that's what I thought I was supposed to eat to lose weight, right? And then at nighttime, I would get super hungry and I would feel bingy, like I needed to like eat it all in. And so a lot of times it was emotional overeating too, all that late night kind of thing, but lonely, bored, tired, overwhelmed, frustrated, needing some entertainment. But a lot of times I didn't have the fuel for the nighttime either. And so I was kind of hungry. And then it would all just turn into a big hurricane between the emotional eating and the hunger eating. So when I switched to more balanced dinners, the cravings faded. And so I realized I have to have, they call it the macros, the fat, the carbs, and the protein. I have to have all of that in my dinner, or I get hungry again, or I wake up wide awake because it didn't give me enough to stay asleep. So let's see if there's any questions today. All right. What if I'm not hungry for dinner and they say they're on medications? If you're not hungry for dinner, you need to assess, are you not hungry because of the medication and you've not had enough today? Because sometimes on those medications, the price you're paying for not feeling so hungry and urgy all the time is that you have to take a little bit more effort or responsibility, whatever word you like better, in making sure you're actually getting the foods that you need. So if you're not hungry for dinner, like check in the same as how I work with my clients to check in. Are you actually physically hungry? So we've talked earlier this week about asking yourself, am I physically hungry or could I be? Or is this possibly an emotional eat? Ask yourself the exact opposite. Have I eaten enough today? I know I'm on medication. I know that that could be the possibility. And just ask yourself, do I have enough in me? And start looking for other cues too, because a lot of times it's not just hunger, like growling stomach, or feeling stuffed. We keep dialing in those hunger cues that when I work with people, so that you understand what it is that could be one of your specific cues, because it could be something I've never had or I've not experienced, but it could be your cue. So look for those kind of things. So maybe it's like a flutter in your stomach. Or maybe it's like, I know I did the weight loss shots. So I would get a little nauseous feeling if I overate, but actually, that's wrong. I would get a little nauseous if I hadn't eaten, and I'd get a lot nauseous if I overate. So I said that backwards, but I would have a little tiny twinge of nausea, and I'd be like, ooh, I need to eat. I haven't eaten for a while. And so that's kind of what mine felt like, a little bit different. So let me know what you're finding. If you're thinking that you're maybe finding a different hunger signal, or if you want me to help you with that, I could do a quick phone call. I do free 30-minute consultation calls, so I don't mind answering a couple questions like that for you then, or you can message me. If you want one of those calls, and this is for anyone who might be listening to this, go to coachingkara.com/free call, and I will be glad to give a consultation call where I answer some of your questions for you. Let's see what else we have. Can carbs really help me sleep? We absolutely can help you sleep. Carbohydrates can, so can like proteins and fats too. Just see what your body specifically needs. Another question. What if I eat early and I still get hungry? If you are physically hungry, then you should eat. So when I work with my clients, I talk to them about overeating a lot, right? Because when we're trying to lose weight, that is exactly what we think happens most often. But then we start realizing that we have some of this old diet mentality into us of where we think that like it's more honorable to wait so long before we eat. And so it's not, you're not going to get a prize for starving yourself. You're going to have a lot of other issues. So if you ate early and then you get hungry, eat. Like as soon as you feel a whisper of hunger is what I say. So I like to call it a whisper of hunger. It helps your body and your brain calm down and know that it's going to get fed regularly. And so don't wait until you're starving. When you're trying to lose weight, your body needs to feel safe that you're going to feel feed it anytime it needs food physically. And so when you feel that whisper of hunger, have something to eat. So if you ate early and then you're feeling a little hungry again, you get to decide. And each person's different. So if this is the before bed that we're talking about, some people don't do well with eating right before bed, or they don't do well with eating certain things. And so that's one of those moments where I say, what does your body specifically feel like it needs? And make sure you're giving it to them. All right, I see one more question on here. How do I build a balanced dinner without overthinking it? Well, girl, I overthink things a lot. I always have. And so, what do you think you want? Let's start with that. What do you think you want? And then, how can we make it a little better for our body? How can we make it a little better? I call them level ups. They're supposed to be 1% of something better than what you were doing. And so, as long as you're thinking in that kind of way, like, maybe I could add a vegetable to this. Maybe I could add some chicken, or I could add some steak, or maybe I don't need fried food, or maybe I could try something else. I want to make sure that you love what you're having. I want to make sure that you really enjoy your food and you're not feeling deprived. But how much of it do you need, right? And so then, if we're not having to deprive ourselves, we can have that food anytime we want. Then the next thing is that what does my body actually need? So that would be what you'd ask yourself. So this is the kind of curiosity and problem solving that we practice in the program. You don't have to guess or do it perfectly. You try, you learn, you adjust, and you just keep going. And those are how we help you listen to your body so that you can just keep giving yourself exactly what you need, what you want, what you really like, and then what you need. So this is day 4, and your challenge today is to eat a satisfying dinner tonight and notice what changes. So make sure that you're having something you really like, and then in that, make sure there's some protein, some kind of healthy fat, which that part's not usually hard to find, and then some kind of carbohydrate. So some vegetables or some rice or some potatoes or something. Have something and then see if that helps your sleep. See if that helps with those nighttime urges. I am starting a 12-week coaching program for weight loss on Monday. If you would love to get in and start this right away before the holidays, go to coachingkara.com/success and get that checked out. So today was day 4 of our 5-day nighttime eating challenge. That means tomorrow will be our last day. And there are 3 others before this video if you're coming to me for the first time today. You have a good one. See ya.